Was a long and dark December. From the rooftops I remember there was snow, white snow. Clearly I remember from the windows they were watching while we froze down below. When the future's architecture by a carnival of idiots on show, you better lie low. If you love me, won't you let me know? It was a long and dark December when the banks became cathedrals and the fall became dark. Priests clutched onto Bibles, hollowed out to fade their rifles, and the cross was held aloft. Bury me in armor.
Roger that. We have no personnel east of our position, so you are free to engage over.
You're clear. Let me know when you have it. Or shoot. Light them all up.
202 traffic, 260.
Come on, fire. Hey, Roger. Keep shooting. Keep shooting.
Bushmaster 2-6. Bushmaster 2-6. We need to move time now.
We just engaged all individuals. Right down there by the line.
I don't wanna be a soldier, be the captain of some sinking ship with slow far below. If you love me, won't you let me go?
Em 1939, as hordas nazistas invadiram a Polônia. Fomos postos 165 mil num lugar onde cabiam só 25 mil. E, além disso, não tinha comida. A criançada toda foi levada para Helmno e lá exterminada. O único sobrevivente dessa escola toda sou eu. Então, eu fui levado a Auschwitz. Minha mãe foi levada no roldão. Foi levado, não deu tempo de me despedir da minha mãe. Com certeza, minha mãe morreu na câmara de gás em Auschwitz. Lá se queimava pessoas 24 horas por dia. Uma vez, uma SS jogou um pedaço de pão, eu caí em cima daquele pedaço de pão. Quando levantei, estava na frente dele, ele tirou calmamente a arma e me deu uma coronhada aqui e me quebrou o nariz. Tinha lá um bloco chamado latrina. Vi pessoas correndo dessa latrina. Eu cheguei lá estava meu pai estendido, assassinado numa latrina, com 45 anos. Fui posto num trem, no meio do caminho, fomos bombardeados, saí do vagão e todos os outros que estavam em volta disseram: olha, os alemães fugiram, estamos livres, você é livre. Pesava 28 quilos com 17 anos. Fui procurar parentes e achei familiares. Fui como turista. Em pouco tempo eu casei e hoje eu tenho muita honra de ser cidadão brasileiro, judeu e parte da humanidade.
O que terá acontecido com o soldado que, em meio a uma operação de guerra, tentou salvar crianças? O soldado Ethan McCord voltou aos Estados Unidos depois de ter sido ferido numa explosão no Iraque. Ethan passou 14 meses na guerra. Ao todo, serviu ao exército por 7 anos. Pai de 3 filhos, 35 anos de idade, ele vive numa casa modesta em Wichita, no estado do Kansas. Você vai ver agora o depoimento completo de Ethan McCord. É a história de uma grande reviravolta. Como uma cena de guerra envolvendo crianças transformou em pacifista um soldado que, ao chegar ao Iraque, imaginou que encontraria um país povoado por terroristas.
O Iraque era o que você esperava ver?
Well, you know, with the United States, especially in the military, once I joined the military, they villainized the entire country and made it seem that everybody in Iraq was the enemy. So I pictured Iraq as this country that was just full of terrorists, you know, and the people who weren't terrorists, they were being oppressed by the terrorists, and my job was to go to Iraq and to provide freedom and democracy. And once I got there, it was my views were quickly changed. I saw Iraqi people as people who were just trying to live their lives. They were no different than me or you. They were trying to protect their families and live their life and the best they can in a war zone. What I quickly learned in Iraq was our job was to out-terrorize the so-called terrorists. We essentially were the terrorists there. We were the ones kicking in the doors, wearing masks of skeletons and stuff like that, and dragging people out of their homes in the middle of the night and beating them up and shooting people, innocent people. I mean, most of the people that were killed in Iraq when I was there were innocent men, women, and children. So yeah, I viewed us as being the terrorists. And again, my favorite movie being Red Dawn, I started to view the people of Iraq just like the movie Red Dawn, where the United States is invaded by Russia and Cuba, and the Americans pick up weapons and they fend off, you know, the invaders from their homes. It's essentially Iraq. It's what the Iraqis were doing. They were defending their homes from us, the invaders.
Quando você entrou no avião militar aqui nos Estados Unidos para ir para o Iraque, você tinha a sensação de que estava indo para uma guerra justa?
I was very excited to go to Iraq. You know, I felt that I was going to be somewhat of a hero. You know, you see old videos of World War II where they're providing freedom for the French and stuff, and they're running up and they're kissing soldiers on the cheeks and stuff and saying, "Thank you for helping us, thank you for liberating us." That was my idea of what I was going over there for. I was excited to provide this freedom and democracy for these people who have been oppressed for so long. So yeah, I very much felt that the war I was going to was just, was my calling, what I needed to do, and I would have died for my country. I would have died for my fellow soldiers to provide this freedom for these people. What was surprising, though, is me going to Iraq to provide this freedom for the Iraqi people. It was the Iraqi people who, in fact, freed me. They provided me with freedom. Freedom from being a blind slave to my government without, you know, they opened my eyes to the world around.
Como é que aquelas crianças foram parar no meio de bombardeio?
Well, my impression of how the father brought the children to the scene was he was driving his children to school, and he saw a wounded man on the side of the street, and being a good Samaritan, decided to help this person and take him to the hospital.
Hey, we need to stop that so we can get down there. We need to go south. You see my location?
Roger. Break. Crazy Horse 1A, request permission to engage. Picking up the wounded. Yeah, we're trying to get...
Qual foi a primeira reação que você teve quando descobriu que havia crianças dentro do carro?
Well, when I looked inside the van and saw the children, the first thing to go through my head was my own children back at home. I saw these children as no different than my own. I was picturing these children as my own children, and my heart sank. I was heartbroken. You know, I had tears in my eyes and was thinking, you know, how could this happen? These are babies. And my very first reaction was to grab the children and to do anything I could to help them and protect them. I didn't care what else was going on around me. I knew that me as a father and a human being, I had to save these children.
Baghdad Radio, Spear 02 in flight, free change zone 1. Arrival.
Aggressive 20, Commando 89ers active, port arrival 311.
20. Baghdad Radio, aggressive 34 is off zone 208 for zone 1. Call for change.
Aggressive 43, zone, correction, aggressive.
To do.
Qual foi o efeito que essa experiência teve em você?
I think that it changed my entire view of Iraq. I was already changing in Iraq, my views, from just a couple of months, but everything was already kind of on a teeter in all of my views. And when this incident happened, my views all just fell down and it turned me around. Emotionally, like I said, I could no longer justify why I was in Iraq, what we were doing in Iraq. I felt that everything we were doing was illegal and immoral in Iraq, and I didn't feel that I could any longer be a part of that system that was doing this. I didn't pull the trigger that day, but I felt just as guilty as the people who did, because I was a part of that system that took these children's father from them, took these men from them, and wounded those children. So yeah, it destroyed me emotionally, almost in a sense, because it took everything that I once believed and turned it around. So I had to re-identify with myself and find out who I was again, which was a very difficult task. But I think the biggest problem is of all the things that I saw in Iraq and all the things that happened while I was there. You know, living with post-traumatic stress disorder now is very difficult. When I first came back from Iraq, I tried to kill myself because of the guilt of what I was a part of. So it's very emotionally draining. I'm still emotionally drained to this day. I still have flashbacks. I see, every time I close my eyes, the bodies. It's very traumatizing.